ableism, right? It's like the determining right that somebody's ability to do something, or the way their body looks, or their what's the word? Their characteristics, their traits, right? Using those as supremacy is using those to justify harm towards them. And so what we say, or what we're saying, is we have to look and analyze our relationship with animals, because if we look back in time, we can see that the construct was built at the same time, right? When we started animalizing humans, we created a third category, right? So like
how do we animalize humans?
Well, like you see people who like depict black people as like gorillas, or immigrants as violent or inherently violent.
That's a whole total topic.
Well, it's all actually the same. That's perfect.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I don't know if you
Oh yeah, and we're on live
Oh,
stream.
does it have to be?
You can just stand there, and that's
I can
perfect.
stand
Yeah,
here,
perfect.
yeah.
No worries. All right. So, how do you feel about oppression? Well, let me say, they saw the sign. Or what's your name?
I do not give my name.
Oh, okay. That's okay. That's okay too.
I would keep it private.
No worries. I'm Elvin. We had agreed that oppression's not good, and like nothing gives anybody the right to oppress anybody else. So.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So what? I want to ask what do you think in relation to animals, or like the animals that we oppress as humans? Do you feel like?
I don't feel like I personally oppress any animals, but as humans in general, you mean like taking over the habitat?
Yeah.
You mean like the mistreatment of animals, like for eating like chickens and
as well as like
messing them up with tons of hormones, or not treating the animal with the respect and dignity. Yeah,
just like not having their interests like in mind as well as ours, you know.
Right.
As it also goes for saying, or things like rodeos, you know, or
I agree. I agree that that's horrendous.
Yeah, like SeaWorld, zoos, that type of stuff.
Yes, I agree. I mean, we entertain ourselves with things, and then we don't, if we don't know the treatment that those animals getting, to then afterwards seeing backdoors, how they get treated or not properly fed, or I don't know, just for human entertainment. Yeah, I disagree with that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm glad we agree.
I still like the zoos. I like to see the animals.
Yeah, it's nice to like, although we say like it's probably more ethical to just you watch a nature documentary or something.
I feel
right?
like if you rescue an animal that has been, like for example, a bird that have hurt their wings and they cannot fly again, and they have those, taken care of by humans,
like rehabilitation, so that they can then enjoy the rest of their life.
Right.
What we see with a lot of situations in zoos is that they actually end up breeding the animals there to keep them like as an exhibit. Because they say it's like important for humans to learn about these animals, which can be true. But there's so many other ways we say like humans are so smart, like we can find other ways to learn about them that don't entail captivity for them. Would you agree that is probably more in their best interest, like observing them in the wild?
I'm not really sure what to think about that, because without any captivity, how are you really gonna learn, the animal? I mean, animals can be in captivity and still be treated correctly.
Well, yeah, but how do you feel about the captivity in general? Like, just like the restraint that they face, like they're not able to live in there.
I think wild animals should not ever be in captivity. They should be free.
I agree.
Domesticated animals like cats and dogs, that's a different story.
Yeah, we kind of
I don't know.
We've harmed their communities to the point where now they rely on us, so we have to take care of them, or we're obligated, or we feel obligated normally to take care of them.
Right.
Do you know what goes into like the breeding of animals? Like,
I don't have pets. I love animals, but I don't have one particularly to have as an example.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, it's common to not really know.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm more getting at is that they it's not their choice, right? The animal's choice, whether they like
I think
conceive
that
or not.
If they're born in captivity and then they have tried to get them out in in their natural habitat, they cannot
Yeah.
even survive.
Well, I mean, yeah, I agree with that because like
Yeah.
there's some, or I guess you're showing that some situations they're like the animals can't reintegrate back into the wild.
Right. It's
Okay,
hard to integrate.
and
back into
I
the
agree
world.
with that too.
Yes.
So it's just like all taking. It's like the specific situations though that you would
I
keep
think
them
most
right.
of the animals that I know about that are in captivity is because they have been rescued or for I don't know, like you said, like for learning or
Yeah.
to have like I don't know, animals at the Omsi, for example, or at the zoo.
Hmm.
Those are the ones that I know, but I don't know about taking a wild animal out of maybe horses. They have been taken out of their
Yeah,
habitat.
horses is a really good example
Yes.
of human unnecessary use, right?
I agree.
Coming above the needs of them as an entire species, right? Because like
Yes.
you could say some horses may want to be ridden, right? But we don't see that in the wild. Like when we observe them, they don't even carry their own babies. So like, what makes us think that they naturally want to help humans in that
Right.
way? Especially when we look at the practices in which
Even
they get
bunnies.
horses.
I mean, I know about bunnies that they have eaten all their babies, and then that's why they have to separate the bunnies from the mom because sometimes they end up eating them.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. But
I have heard about other type of animals that reject their
oh yeah, like rejecting their young.
rejecting their
And that's
young.
like a normal, a common thing we see, right? And so that's how we kind of know that maybe sometimes animals don't have the same ability to like, I don't know, not that like they're not acting in their own best interest in that moment, because they may be trying to like, I don't know, they may understand their population numbers more than
We don't
do,
really
but-
know. We
but
don't really know.
We
Like,
act with more
really-
moral
uh-huh.
agency to kind of help them out of those situations, or maybe help them not do that because we recognize that like
So what's
their babies' lives matter,
What's the
right?
ultimate purpose of doing this?
The ultimate purpose, right, is we're
Awareness?
questioning people on their like moral consistency, right?
Gotcha.
So, like you say, you're against captivity, yet like we breed in like we as humans, right? We breed and slaughter like countless, like the number is unfathomable of animals just for food, right?
Just for breeding to sell.
Yeah, just
That's
for
what you
food or
mean,
breeding
yeah.
to sell or
Yeah.
for food. There's so
for
many
food,
reasons.
yeah.
But we say animals have their own interests, right? And we know that because they're sentient.
Well,
and they,
the saddest part is that we have just learned that they do that with little humans,
like
the government, like
Oh.
with all of the
oh yeah.
files. So
Well, because all
if they're capable of doing that with humans, imagine what they will be capable to do with
Yeah.
indefenseless animals that
Yeah.
can't even.
like speak English,
Have anybody,
or
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess okay here. So I'll get to the point right now.
Yes.
So ableism, right? It's like the determining right that somebody's ability to do something, or the way their body looks, or their what's the word? Their characteristics, their traits, right? Using those as supremacy is using those to justify harm towards them. And so what we say, or what we're saying, is we have to look and analyze our relationship with animals, because if we look back in time, we can see that the construct was built at the same time, right? When we started animalizing humans, we created a third category, right? So like
How
there's
do we animalize humans?
well, like you see people who like depict black people as like gorillas, or immigrants as
God.
violent or
That's
inherently violent.
That's a whole total topic.
Well, it's all actually the same. This is how I'll connect it for
Oh,
you.
okay.
Because like
Got
the
it, got
ability
it.
to use, right, like so like white people, they created this idea that like they're more superior because of certain like
would
they
say-
even came up with pseudoscience.
I
like
would say we
elongated
cannot
skulls.
generalize.
Yes.
Like
When I talk
like
about-
say a whole statement, like
Yeah.
I said, white people.
Well, when I talk about whiteness,
because I know good people and bad people of all races.
yes, of course.
And I have seen other races being against other races too,
Yeah.
or even within their own race.
Yeah, because like supremacy and dominancy
Yeah.
isn't something that
Like the
you know,
shades of colors or textures
yeah,
of hair.
like there's
or the
colorism, there's
mixtures,
all sorts
or
of types of
the
discrimination.
melting
yeah.
pot. I mean, at the end of the day, I believe that they look into like the real ancestry, and everybody's mom is black.
Yeah. And I guess I want to clarify, when I talk about whiteness, right?
Yeah.
I'm specifically talking about the construct, because they created that, right? Like there was a time when we just saw each other as other people, right? But once we created this white versus black, it was a distinction they made specifically so that they could, because they left from Europe, right? And now the only thing that was was bringing them together was the color of their skin.
Yeah.
So then they create white, and so then everything else gets a category as well.
There's all kinds of immigrants, like Italians, like Russians,
and they don't really know their history,
but
right?
they don't go after the people that have the fair skin color. They always go for immigrants if they look Mexican,
because the grouping that's important, right, is reduced to the color of their skin.
Yeah, you're right.
So when I talk about whiteness, I'm specifically talking about that construct, right? Like just
that
using
could be a total different episode that we can just open chapters. And
yes,
chapters
I know.
It's
like it could go on forever.
So it can never be black and white. It's like so much.
Yeah.
There's so much to it, like language, accent, color, social.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just. That is like a subject that it could never even be discussed in like a short period of time.
Yeah.
Well, that's much of it.
That's why we stand here. We're trying to talk about oppression.
So then, what's the point?
Okay. So
it connects. Go right to the
It connects to animals, right? Because like veganism. I don't know if you've heard about veganism.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Veganism is commonly misconceived as a plant-based diet.
Eat meat.
Yeah, like just not eating meat or not eating eggs or honey or whatever.
No fish.
But it's actually just that ethical stance, right, against the oppression of other sentient beings, right?
Yeah.
Not putting anybody else's interests beneath your own.
There's a festival going on.
I don't know. I think there's some music, going on both sides, but yeah.
Anyway,
so
I don't have no more time for this. But tell me, what do you wanna?
Well, I was just
wrap it
ask,
up.
what's stopping you from maybe going vegan and just seeing?
What's stopping me? I like meat.
Well, okay, but aside from the diet,
I need meat. I need meat.
Well,
I grew up with eating meat. I actually tried at some point, and I have known people that have tried going completely vegan or vegetarian.
What do you mean?
Not
plant-based?
meat, yeah.
Because the veganism is the stance.
Well,
the
not just
ethical
veganism, just like, I don't know. There's many different ways that people are trying to eliminate the abuse of animals and be part of that by not consuming those animals or the way that they...
Veganism, I want to say
vegetarian, for example.
Oh, like vegetarian?
Yes.
Veganism, well, the things about those is those are all diets, right? So like vegetarianism says I don't eat meat, I'll only eat animal byproducts. Carnivore diet is I'll only eat meat, I believe. And then you have flexitarian where they try to like only eat meat on some situations.
Go.
Okay.
I actually just remember.
Can I give you a card?
Sure.
All right.
What are we gonna do with the card?
Just so this thing shows a documentary. It shows standard practice.
No, I get it, and I have seen a documentary before that they didn't stop me.
Well, I just
because the animal is already dead. It's already dead.
Because of us, though.
When I go to the supermarket, I make sure that it has no hormones. That it was like treated in a farm, for example, when I buy eggs.
Well, then I urge you to watch that documentary because 99% of the situations they're in slaughter. They're still in the same slaughterhouses.
Slaughtering, yeah. But I honestly, try to eat as healthy as possible. But it's not going to get me not to ever eat meat. That's like not gonna happen.
Because you still see them as objects, or
because I like meat. I'm not seeing the animal.
But I'm telling
what
you,
happened to the animal.
If you don't see them as objects,
but I see it like if somebody has a farm, like my grandmother. She had a farm. She definitely slaughtered goats and she slaughtered pigs and slaughtered, chickens, and that was like a survival. Just like animals eat other animals.
Well, we don't blame people who are living in survival situations, but us who can shop at the grocery store or get plant-based options, as we found that.
Oh, I have.
That like, yeah. So
I
as we
actually
found that,
select a lot of plant options. I like mushrooms instead of meat sometimes.
Yeah.
But like to be 100% committed to that, no.
well, the thing is, if you don't see animals as objects, right, and you
But I
value
don't
their
see it like that.
if you value their individuality,
Yeah.
right,
I
they'll
don't
be
look
more
at
important.
I don't look at it like that because even biblically, you know, like fish is okay to eat.
Well, yeah, but
It
before
doesn't
in the
say
Garden
don't
of
go
Eden, there
and
was
eat.
no sin, there was no murder.
I know, but we can go on
If
and
you wanna
on.
bring that up.
We can go on and on. We'll
I just
make
urge you to watch that
something.
documentary because it'll show you what happens to the animals,
Thank
and
you, but is
each
it
individual
every
animal
single
matters, and you can
Every
change.
single animal gets treated that badly.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm telling you. And even in the case that they're not, people are still seeing them as objects.
Praise the Lord. We're objects too.
The Lord would be vegan.